Right, well here's the results of the Biggles group build, and you can see here this was my What If spur fighter, which was actually built from an old Airfix Westland Whirlwind fighter, and the only modifications I actually made were to move down here, move the horizontal stabilizers from up here down to a more conventional position here. And then I've also added some air scoops on the top here, a couple of drop tanks underneath, and I've subtly changed the shape of the wings. And then of course I've carved out here in the Biggles book it was meant to be a two-seater, so I've made this two-seat canopy here out of two Spitfire canopies back to back. And you can see it's quite a bit different, but not totally different from the Whirlwind. Oh, the other thing was, here I've actually drilled out the cannon holes. On the Whirlwind the cannon barrels protrude, and so here I've made them recessed. And I don't know whether we can see properly here. You can see it says the Bigglesworth Aviation Company here, because this is meant to be a civilian registered aircraft, which was actually hastily repainted from RAF colour. So I've gone a bit to town on this. It said it was grey. I've actually painted it a dark grey. My suspicion would be it would actually be medium sea grey or ocean grey or something like that. And from the book description, you should really be able to see the painted out RAF roundels, and I haven't bothered doing that. So that was build number one, and then unfortunately we had a complete disaster not 20 minutes ago with the Sopwith Camel, which was going very, very nicely, and you can see I'd even got almost all the rigging fixed up here. And then I dropped the darn thing on the floor, tried to catch it in my lap, and unfortunately scrunched it between my knees, which is a silly thing to do. If it had fallen on the floor, it might have had less damage. It was almost completely rigged. I was just working on the rigging at the side here, down to the tail, to the horizontal stabilizers, and everything else was done, as you can see. But the cabans are completely wrecked over here. And also one of the struts is broken here. Now I do have some spares because I have a defunct, well, two defunct actually, Airfix Camels. So what I can do is take off the top wing and all that nice rigging, unfortunately, and put on spare struts. And I've also got to repair the undercarriage, of course, which is crunched as well. Biggles fell out, but I managed to pick him up again, so he will make a return sometime when the aircraft has been fixed up. So that's the Biggles build for today. Hopefully I will have a little bit more luck on the next two builds, which are a Hawk P6 here from Monogram. And this is going to be done with aftermarket decals, so it won't look quite like that. That's going to be out of box, and all I've done so far is just paint the insides, basically a dark grey primer. And then the other build, which should be interesting, is this kit by Heller, which is the Booker Young Meister. And I'm going to do this as a Swiss aircraft because we're having a Swiss Air Force group build on the unofficial Airfix modelling forum at the moment, so it'll be all yellow instead of this colour here, and that should be pretty nice as well. I've actually got two of these kits. One of them is missing the propeller. I've painted a few bits here, so we've got the engine has been painted in the grey primer and then dry brushed with silver just to make it look pretty. And once again here you can see I've painted the interior and a few bits here. I've actually not sure if we can focus it. The instrument panel is actually dry brushed because it's a raised detail panel, and you can actually see the instrument dials in relief. So we've got one success here with the What If. We have something that's okay, it's a failure at the moment, but it can be repaired, and then we'll have 2 more nice little biplane kits, which will be out of the box. I'm not going to try doing anything complicated with these going on further. There'll also be the Airfix Boston. At the moment I'm just doing canopies. I've been scraping bits off with a sharpened toothpick, and I've scraped off too many bits, so I'll have to put a bit more paint on there, and so the various transparencies for that. It has several canopy bits and pieces. That's actually going on as well. Oops. And there's another pilot which is in the process of being painted. He's not on the same league as Biggles, but he's an awful lot bigger. The scale of these pilot figures varies enormously from kit to kit. Actually, the Boston kit, the pilots are gigantic. They'd be like Hagrid, really, if we actually scaled them up. So anyway, so there we go. One failure, 1 success, next 2 kits in the pipeline. Thanks for watching and listening.